This is Energized, a podcast about simple ways you can improve your energy. I'm Dina, a naturopath, personal trainer and wellness coach with 14 years experience working with a wide range of clients to help improve their health, fitness and overall energy. Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Energized podcast. Thank you so much for being here. This week, I'm talking all about eating for energy. I thought that it would be especially good to talk about it at the moment while I'm still in lockdown. Many people in Australia are going in or coming out of lockdowns. And I think that food tends to become a comfort for us, which is totally normal. But foods that you're eating might not be helping your energy levels. And so I thought this week I would explore that a little bit more. So just my general health disclaimer before I start, anything that I talk about in this podcast is general in nature because while I'm a qualified naturopath and personal trainer, I may not be your naturopath or personal trainer. And the things that I talk about in this podcast might not be specific to your health and your needs. If you would like to book in for an individualized consultation, then you can jump on my website, dinasavitz.com. I offer a free 10-minute consultation. So that's done via phone or online. So jump on in there. All right. I will just be honest here. I don't love talking about food. It comes as a surprise to some people because, I'm a nutritionist alongside being a naturopath, but I'm not a foodie. So I could very happily live off, a few different foods that are not everyone's cup of tea. Think things like sardines, tinned salmon. They're kind of some of my favorite foods. And I don't necessarily eat foods for their taste. So when it comes to talking about food, it's not my favorite topic. But that being said, I do know a lot about it. Obviously, I've studied it, especially the nutrition side of things, and I know foods that are better for you or not so good for you when it comes to energy. And I will just add that one of the reasons I don't love talking about food is because I think a lot of people get caught up in one diet. So whether that's following, the 5-2, which was fasting for part of the week, or following a keto diet, or low carb, or high fat, or, whatever it is. And I don't believe that there's one diet that fits every single person. I think that every person has individualized needs, and that often it can be a journey for someone to find out what it is exactly that works for them and what doesn't work for them. So today I wanted to talk about the dietary considerations for fiber intake. So fiber is something that everybody needs more of. However, I will just add an extra disclaimer in here that if you are someone who suffers from inflammatory bowel condition like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis or IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, then fiber is going to be a different story for you because the amount of fiber that you need or your body's response to fiber is going to be different to someone who doesn't suffer from any of those conditions. So that being said, the daily suggested dietary intake for fiber intake to reduce the risk of chronic disease for women is 28 grams of fiber, and for men, that's 38 grams of fiber. So today I thought I would talk about 5 foods that you could start increasing or adding into your diet every day to help you reach that target of whether it's 28 grams or 38 grams of fiber. So number 1 is pears or apples, actually. Both are pretty good, but I find that a pear, a medium pear, I think it is, has almost 7 grams of fiber in there. So for women, that's 25% of your daily fiber needs just, at morning tea. And for men, that's 18%. So adding some pear. Oh, sorry. That's incorrect. 1 pear is 5.5 grams of fiber. And then, so whenever I'm talking to clients about eating throughout the day, I always mention that it's good to have some kind of protein whenever you're eating. So if you want to go back, I think it is my second podcast episode, where I talk all about the tips that I give clients in my clinic when it comes to improving energy. And I talk about protein in there. So a mid-morning snack of a pear plus a handful of almonds would give you around 7 grams of fiber. Another good thing to add into your day are figs. So 3 figs contain about 2.5 grams. Dried figs contain 2.5 grams of fiber. Again, it's a small amount. So for women, that's 9% of your daily intake, and men, that's 6%. But again, a little bit can go a long way. Lentils. Lentils are an amazing source of fiber. So half a cup of cooked lentils offers almost 8 grams of fiber. So for women, that's 28% of your daily intake, and men, that's 21% of your daily intake. Other foods that are really high in fiber are obviously all of your beans. So black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, chickpeas as well. So I would say that's our 4th thing. And then if I could add one more thing in, that would be berries. So half a cup of blueberries is 2 grams of fiber. Half a cup of raspberries, however, is 3.2 grams of fiber. So thinking about the type of berries that you like to eat, and, adding half a cup of raspberries on top of your oats on a morning would give you, again, a really good 7 grams of fiber. So that's a lot of percentages. That's a lot of numbers. If you're not a numbers person, I'm sorry for all of those numbers that I just threw at you. But just to summarize, eating fiber throughout the day helps you to have really good bowel movements, which inevitably helps you have more energy. If you're not moving your bowels every single day, and this is again, a topic for an entirely different podcast episode, digestion and gut health alongside energy levels. But if you're not having a daily bowel movement, then you are definitely not having enough fiber during the day. So 5 foods that you could add in to your diet every single day, or alternate different days to add some of these things in, because a diet that is high in diversity is also going to give you really good energy levels. Number 1, I talked about pears or apples. They're a really good source of fiber. Adding some almonds in there as well. Number 2, I talked about, if I can remember where I went with number 2, I talked about figs, dried figs. So they're easy enough to buy from a health food store, even supermarket. Number 3, I talked about, I'm testing myself today because I talked off the cuff and didn't write notes. Some weeks for my podcast episode, I've got notes to refer to, and other weeks I'm just talking off the cuff. So one of the things that I talked about was lentils. Can't remember if that was number 3 or not, but half a cup of lentils gives you about 8 grams. Then I talked about different types of beans. So black beans, pinto beans, lima beans, chickpeas, green peas are also really good, come under the legumes. So they're also a really good form of fiber. And then the 5th thing that I talked about are berries. So raspberries are slightly higher in fiber than blueberries. Blackberries are also awesome. So just trying to get some of those foods into your day will definitely help to increase the amount of fiber that you have. Now, because I'm talking all about digestion today, so foods that contain a higher amount of fiber will also help with digestion. I thought that this week's herb of the week, I would talk about ginger, because again, it's one of those beautiful herbs that you can add into your cooking, into your daily diet. You can have a cup of ginger tea. It can be a really beautiful way to help with digestion. So ginger helps settle the stomach. It soothes indigestion and it calms wind. It's pain relieving and it has relaxing effects in the digestive system, relieving colic and spasm, abdominal pain, distension, so that bloating, and flatulent indigestion. It also helps relieve griping from diarrhea and dysentery. And I would say that it's a really good herb for both IBS, so irritable bowel syndrome, and inflammatory bowel conditions. So if you head on over to my Instagram page at Dina Savitz, you will be able to read more about ginger, this week's herb of the week. Now, before I finish, I just wanted to let you know that this coming Monday, I am running a live interactive webinar all about how to stay healthy during lockdown. So if you've found that some of your healthy habits have gone away, fallen by the wayside at the moment, it's totally understandable. There is a lot going on, especially being locked down in our homes. I am going to do a short presentation and then open up to Q&A. So I would love for you to join me this coming Monday at 12 p.m. If you'd like to jump on my website, dinasavitz.com/webinar, you can sign up there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you have got something out of this week's episode, learning about one thing that can help improve your energy levels via food that you eat every day. Have a beautiful week.